Hey, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. How you doing? I hope you're doing so very well. And this is the opening to my Whateverathon vlog. I am splitting this up into two parts because I'm actually doing the intro like after I filmed some of my thoughts on the books that I've been reading, so like this is gonna be a little spliced up, but it's totally fine. I hope you enjoy this video. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell if you want to see any of my thoughts on any other books. But without further ado, let's get into some of my thoughts on the books that I've been reading for Whateverathon. And this is my Whateverathon vlog. If you do not know, Whateverathon is a readathon that happens the whole month of June. It's hosted by Maddie over at Book Browsing Blog. I will leave everything you need linked in the description. This is a readathon that you pretty much just do whatever feels right to you. There's a bingo board, there's prompts, there's teams, and it's a lot of fun. And I decided to be a little bit more ambitious than what I normally am, just because like I feel like my reading is like I was in a slump in February, and then I like kind of got out of my slump like last month, and this month I'm like trying to like vibe out the reading mood that I'm in because like I'm in such a weird reading mood. Like I'm in the mood for like horrors and thrillers and like spooky books, but I'm also in the mood for romance. So like it's a vibe. It's a vibe. So I decided to join Shelf Slayers as the team that I picked because their prompts just fitted better with the mood that I'm in. And yeah, I just like their prompts. That's essentially every thought behind this. If you're wondering why I look like a messy bitch, it's because I work night shift, so I'm going to be like I just woke up and I'm going to be going to work in a couple of hours. So I thought I would check in, looking like my fine ass self at the moment, and tell you that I have completed my first book. I read The Sea Witch by Kate Roberts. This is the fifth book in the Wicked Villain series. This series is like romance with like BDSM, and the characters are like fairy tale characters but set in contemporary times. This series is a lot of fun. I just like have a ball with it. I struggle really hard with audiobooks. I don't know why. Like sometimes I can jive with an audiobook, but I prefer to do my reading physically. That's like the enjoyment I get out of reading. So like with audiobooks, I find it really hard to like listen to fantasy audiobooks, or like if there's like I find it really hard to just jive with audiobooks in general. But this series has brilliant audio books. Their narrators are great. I haven't had a bad experience with any of the five books I've listened to so far. So like I'm really happy with that. In this one, we follow it's kind of like Ariel, Eric, and Ursula, but it's Zuriel, Alaric, and oh no, like she's referred to as a sea witch all the time, but it's like Ursa, that's it. And in this book, we followed them. Zuriel is trying to get Alaric out of his debt, and in doing that, she has to come up with $250,000. And Ursa says she'll help her out, but Ursa and Alaric have ulterior motives. Ursa is very mad at Zuriel's dad and wants revenge. So, in helping Zuriel, she's kind of helping herself advance this revenge plot against Zuriel's father. There's a lot of like kink in these books, so like if you're gonna read this, look up content warnings. If it's not your cup of tea, then don't read it. But it is really good and really well done. I've really enjoyed these series. They're not like the best books I've ever read, and they're by no means the best romances I've ever read, but they are one of the best BDSM representation books that I've read. I really enjoy like the way the author takes like this community, and it's very well researched and it's very comfortable while reading, which some BDSM novels cannot be comfortable while reading. These are, because there's like a safe space in the underworld where Hades kind of rules over and it's neutral territory. Everyone has like a safe space to land, and I really enjoy that about these books. I also enjoy that, like in the Sea Witch, you like in every book that you read, you get past characters that come and just do little cameos, which I really enjoy. I gave this a 3.5 star. The plot could do with work. Like there's not much plot to this book. It is more just characters and romance. The plot could use some work, and the world could definitely use some work. But if you're looking for a fun, kinky, like character driven romance book, then I highly suggest this one. I highly suggest this whole series. Again, please look up content warnings because they are not for everyone, but they are for me, and I really enjoyed this. And this also knocks off 3 prompts from the board, I think. Yeah, this knocks off continuous series, different format, and purple on the cover. So 3 prompts, like 3 reading prompts, and then separately from that, it knocked off sprints because I took part in the kickoff sprints with this book, and not guilt-free activity, personal goal, because my personal goal this year, one of my many personal goals that are all up in the air, is to read more or complete more series that I've already started, and this knocks that off. So I am very happy. It is only the second. I've completed 1 book, knocked off 3 reading prompts, knocked off 2 non-reading prompts, and I'm also reading currently Mina and the Undead by Amy McCraw. This is really good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm like 112 pages in. Also, I have my cute little Whateverathon bookmark here. Yeah, so I'm currently reading this now, and in this we follow Mina, who is going to New Orleans for like a break, and she goes to see her sister Libby, who has moved there for college. And when she goes, there's tension between her and her sister, but they're determined to kind of move on and spend this time together. Then weird shit starts happening. Someone ends up murdered, and Mina and Jared, which is Libby's roommate, have like kind of go on the trail to figure out why people are dying in New Orleans. This so far is so atmospheric, and the dynamic relationships between Mina and her sister and their family dynamics, and then with Jared potentially being like a love interest. I'm not far enough to know, but like there's a few sparks, not enough concrete at the moment. And like the friend group, Libby has her girlfriend. Like it's very dynamic relationships happening so far, and I'm really loving that. Also, there's this diary that is about brothers that supposedly were vampires, and one of the brothers is writing this diary entry about his brother, and it honestly just gives me like Stefan writing about Damon vibes. If you haven't watched the Vampire Diaries, you're gonna have no idea what I'm talking about. But these diary entries are literally like Stefan writing about Damon, and I am living for it. It's got nods to all of my favourite 90s horror films. It's got the creepy. It's got New Orleans, which is one of my places I want to visit. Like, this is setting up to be a brilliant read for me. I'm 112 pages in. All I want to do is consume this book, but unfortunately I can't do that at work, so I have to wait until I have time when I am not working. But so far I am really enjoying this, and I will come back and tell you my full thoughts once I have finished it. But I am so happy with my progress so far. 1 book down, another book started. I will check back in once I have some more thoughts. So I'm currently reading 2 books at the moment. I'm still reading Mina and the Undead, but I did start Heartstream, and I'm almost finished it. Like, I flew through it, and I'm enjoying this. It's like, it's interesting. In this we follow Amy, who is a Heartstreamer, and essentially you connect yourself up to a streaming app and people can feel your feelings. This is very intense because Amy's mum is ill and Amy is going through a lot of intense emotions. Also, it's split into 2 points of view, from Amy to Kat, and these point of views have like nothing to do with each other until like it's starting to come out now at the point that I'm at, how they intertwine. But the story, like, at its core, is like a lot more hard hitting than I thought it would be. It deals with grief and your feelings, obviously, because Heartstream is a thing. It deals with how you can have claim on someone else's life without actually knowing them, especially like if you are a YouTuber or someone that is in the public eye. People feel like they have a claim on you or know you to your core because they watch everything that you do, and that is what Amy feels in Heartstream. These people feel like they have a right to her emotions and her feelings and her life, but they really don't. She's just sharing with the world what she wants to share. And it's very interesting subject matter. It's also very well done how the two POVs are like totally different, and I'm quite impressed with how Tom Pollock managed to write these two very different strong female characters. That, like, there's a lot of female characters in here and they're all different, and you could tell them all by the way they act or talk. And there's a lot of toxicity around friendships, relationships, like how you know someone. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting book. I am really enjoying it. I hope to finish it fairly soon and come back and tell you my full thoughts on how I rated this and how I feel. But so far, this is a very interesting take on humanity, and I kind of like that. I also like the fact that we know absolutely nothing about how these two POVs have anything to do with each other. So I'm going to go finish this, and then I will come back and wrap up exactly how I feel about it. But so far, this has surprised me, considering this was on my self-destruct pile and a book that could have potentially stayed unread. I'm happy that I'm reading it, and I'm very intrigued on how it's going to end. So I will be back in just a moment. So this is a different angle because I wanted to buy a cross stitch set, and I went onto Amazon, and that's what I thought I did. I bought this lovely 4-piece set. Turns out this is not cross stitch, it's actually embroidery, and there is a difference, which I did not know. So my plan for Whateverathon was to try some new hobbies throughout the month as well as reading, because I wanted to find something new that I can spend my time doing, and cross stitching really appealed to me. So I thought this was a cross stitch set, but it's not. It's an embroidery set. So I'm still going to use it because obviously I paid for it. And it's quite fun actually. This is the design that I chose to start off with, and it was really good. These 4 designs came in like the plastic bag, and in this plastic bag you have the fabric, and then you have a like card of thread that you would need, floss that you would need for that like one specific design, and you get 4 of these, which, and they're all individually packaged with the design and like the stitching method you'd need to do that one design. Like, it's very efficient the way that they have created this kit, and it all comes in this like plastic box so that you can like reuse it. So this is the design that I started with. I've never done embroidery before, so like I'm still learning, and I'm definitely doing it wrong. It also comes with this hoop that you can put your fabric on for, I think it's just called an embroidery hoop. But this is like my progress so far. This is a lot harder than what I thought it would be. I tried, so I don't know how obvious this is going to be, but I tried different stitch methods for each leaf to see if like there was any way that I was doing it wrong, what way looked better. And personally, I like this leaf right here, which is one that I done way different from the rest. I like this one a lot, but the thing is it looks way different than what it looks like on the sheet. So I went onto YouTube, and this is oh god, like it's a leaf fishbone thread. I would have to look that up. I will leave it on screen. And it's not the same as like this, as the instructions tell you, because when you turn this over the back, it does have all the instructions that you will need. But I went onto YouTube and I've been kind of playing around with it, so I'm having fun. I am definitely enjoying it. This is something that I think is really cool. I have my floss. Also, I have these like tweezer scissor things, and I'm not gonna lie, I got way too much excitement out of these. I can't tell you why. So I will leave this kit linked down below just in case that you're interested. Just keep in mind that it is an embroidery kit and not a cross stitch kit. So this is my first craft for the first week of Whateverathon. I'm enjoying it. I thought it was something different, but I'm not going to complain. I'm enjoying it nonetheless. This is where I'm up to. I still have 2 days left of this week to film, so I will jump back in and show you my progress before then. I have one more craft already here, and then I have one on the way, which is actually a cross stitch set, which is what I wanted in the first place. So that's also on its way and should arrive today. So I will check back in. I have finished 2 books, so I need to wrap those up before I move on with the next vlog, but I will flip the camera and tell you my thoughts in a more precise manner in a second.
Pick it up from the top, hit restart. So far it's been so hard to live, but lately something in me changed. Let it go, let it be. Don't fight your way back in. Let me go, let me be. It's time that we begin. Welcome to a new life. Dripping in gold, that's nice. Welcome to a new life. Everything feels so right. Till I opened up my eyes. I thought I was defeated, but all I ever needed was just a little space and time to open up the ceiling, a different kind of healing. I feel alive. Can you feel it? I can feel it. I feel alive. Can you feel it? I can feel it. Yeah. Already hanging by a thread with my world turned upside down. Gravity shook my brain and I tumbled out. Heavy weight landed on my face, still unfazed, 'cause I have my day. Welcome to a new life. Jumping in gold, that's nice. Welcome to a new life. Everything feels so right until I opened up my eyes. Thought I was defeated, but all I ever needed was a little space and time to open up the ceiling, a different kind of healing. I feel alive. Can you feel it? I can feel it. I feel alive.
So this just came, and I've ripped off the part that has my address because but I'm not really impressed with how it came. So it came like this, no box, no outer protection, and it also came open, which, you know, is fun. Also, it feels very light. Like, I'm gonna like take some of this out. I'm just gonna take out. Like, it feels awful light. There we go. Doing this one-handed is quite hard. Like, okay, so it does. Like, I don't know if this is enough thread, because it does not fucking look like enough. I should stop swearing, damn. I don't know if this is enough thread for this. I have no idea. So this is what it's going to look like. I still have to figure out how to do this, which is fine. The fabric feels okay. Like, I don't know if it says... Okay, this is all in another language pretty much. So it's a 14 count, 11 CT, I think. So it's 14 colors with 11 squares per inch, I believe. That's how it works. Where's the other sheet of paper? This just has the instructions. Obviously, it is a pre-printed fabric. I just don't think this is going to be enough because 11 CT calls for 3 strands of floss, I believe. And each strand of this has 6. So every time I cut this, it's gonna only do 2 lots. I did see on the reviews for this on Amazon, I did see that some people, I did see that some people had an issue with running out of floss before they finished the piece, and they emailed and asked for whatever floss they ran out of, and the seller was good enough to send them replacements. So I guess we'll see if this is actually enough. If not, then I will take that option. If not, I will buy some DMC thread to finish this project. But this is going to be my cross stitch project. After I finish my week of embroidery, this is what I'm going to move on to next. Wish me luck. I'm back because I have 2 books to update you on because I suck at keeping up with vlogs. So like, I will just read, and then when I come back to finish my vlog, I often need to wrap up more than like my current read because I don't really vlog while I'm reading. I've noticed I vlog after I've finished like maybe half the book or the whole book. So I don't know how to find a balance. I'm still learning how to do this vlog thing, and I honestly take my hat off to all the people that make their vlogs really seamless because I have no idea how you do this. But nonetheless, I am trying, and I'm here to wrap up 2 more books that I finished. So I was previously speaking about Heartstream by Tom Pollock, and I gave this a 3.5 star. I really did enjoy this. The writing style was pretty good. The characters were well done, and I liked the way the story went. The reason that this was a 3.5 star was because it was smart the way that it was done, the 2 different POVs coming together in the very end, but the end is left very open. I kind of like my endings wrapped up, but I'm okay with an open ending as long as it's not too open-ended, but this left it very much still on an action note that it felt like a really strange place to end the book. And even though I enjoyed the split POV, sometimes it was a little confusing. I listened to half of this on audio and I read half of it physically, and I think the audio done a good job. The audiobook done a really good job at differentiating the different points of views, but when I was reading physically, it was hard to like separate the voices of the two different narrators. But this book was smart. Like, it was kind of like a Black Mirror episode, and it was fun and interesting. There was definitely a lot of intrigue as to where the storyline was going to go, but I just feel like after a certain amount of time it became fairly obvious what the ending reveal was going to be. I kind of guessed it about the halfway point, and it just didn't have that climactic finish that I was hoping for. And mixed with the open-endedness of this book, I just feel like I didn't get much from the last half. I do recommend this if you're looking for something that's like Black Mirror, that's mystery, split POV, and has quite an interesting app that is called Heartstream. Obviously, that was probably the highlight of this book for me. I really enjoyed the technology in it. So I finished this. I gave it a 3.5 stars. This knocked off, I will put the bingo board up here. What did this knock off again? This knocked off One Word Title on a previous TBR, because this was a book that I had started previously and then I hadn't finished. And I'm pretty sure this is Last Letter and First Letter. I'm pretty sure. I will put the board up here and correct my mistakes if I'm wrong, but this gave me like another 3 prompts knocked off the list. I also used this for a personal goal, because my personal goal is to get to my self-destruct, get to the books that I need to get to, so it knocks off that. I also knocked off sprints, and I think that was it. I think that was the 2 that I knocked off with this book that wasn't book related, but it will all be on the board here. The next book I have to talk about is Mina and the Undead by Amy McCraw. I gave this a 4 stars. I really enjoyed this. This is like a paranormal with a little bit of romance, with a little bit of family dynamics, with a little bit of history, and it's all set in New Orleans, which I love. It was very atmospheric and the vibe was strong. Like, I really enjoyed this. This was everything that I wanted it to be. I'm looking forward to the sequel. I enjoyed all of the characters. They were really well written, and the storyline, even though a little predictable, still had its moments where it wasn't as predictable as I thought it was going to be. It still surprised me in the end. The writing was really well done, and I also just enjoyed the kind of love letter to the 90s and the horror genre. And like, this book is not scary, but it's very atmospheric in a creepy way, and I just really enjoyed it. I think that you can get something out of this book no matter how old you are. This does not have an age. It's one of those where you could probably read it as like a middle grader up to an adult, because it's not especially gory, or it doesn't go into detail about things apart from like the bare basics of facts. I really enjoyed this, and I definitely want to pick up the sequel. So I gave this 4 stars. This knocked off Spooky Book. Oh, what did this knock off again? I will put the board here because I'm completely forgetting. But this also got me my first bingo, which was really nice. I also used this for cozy time, cozy reading time, and personal goal, because this was the most anticipated and I want to get to more of them, and sprints. So this knocked off quite a few, and it's also LGBTQIA+, so I knocked off a few. Also, Heartstream is actually pride as well, so, well, queer as well, so I managed to get, and other diversity, because there's mental health rep. So I actually got quite a few points for these 2 books, and this is the last book that I'm going to talk about in this vlog, because I'm going to cut it off here. This is the first week of Whateverathon. This, like, at first weekend, I finished 3 books. I'm feeling really happy with my progress. I'm also going to just show you the progress I made on my embroidery. I just dropped that needle on the back. Oh no, I'm gonna stand on needles. You know, needles don't really, they're not really that small when you're holding them, but when you drop them, They're the tiniest things ever. Oh no. I'm gonna find that later and that's gonna hurt like a bitch. I'm gonna have to remember to look for that after I finish filming because that could be a disaster. But this is the progress that I made on my embroidery. So this is a week worth of embroidery. I am fairly happy with my progress. I'm still trying to figure everything out and see like what's the best way to do this, but I did have a lot of fun and this is something that I would definitely continue. I am going to put it to the side because next week I decided that if I'm gonna vlog for Whateverathon, I decided that I was gonna vlog my reading progress, but I was also going to try and find some new hobbies. And next week is going to be a cross stitch and I will take you with me and tell you my progress, also show you my progress and see how far I can get in a week. As I said, I managed to get this done in a week on the embroidery kit and I'm not mad at it. It looks okay considering I am completely new at this. So that is it. That is all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down below if you have read any of these books or if you just want to chat. I am always here and I thank you so much for watching this video. I'm kind of a mess, but it's fine. We deal with it. I hope you have a great day, great week, great weekend, whenever the hell you're watching this. Remember to stay safe, happy and healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Dripping in gold.